All right. Feels good to be back. Another episode of the Inner Circle podcast. Man, it's a crazy week. I know there's a lot of fans out there, a lot of gamers out there right now playing the hottest game in this generation. I literally stopped what I was doing when this game finally downloaded after 5 hours, which is insane to me because I have like 100 megabytes download speed and still it was taking forever. My homeboy's like, dude, you got to stop playing what you're playing in order for this thing to download faster. And I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I have to stop playing I was playing Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm like, why would I have to stop playing Tomb Raider? He said, because it's going to mess with your internet. I'm like, bro, I'm not even online, right? So I'm looking at my download speeds. My download speeds are hitting like 76 megabytes per second, 86 megabytes per second. So I'm like, all right, I'm done with Tomb Raider. I take a break. I kid you not. As soon as I stop playing Tomb Raider, it jumped 99 megabytes per second.
There you go.
What?
There you go. While playing the game, it caps out at 30 megabytes per second for me. But when I take it out and I stop playing the game, it downloads up to about 70, 80 megabytes a second.
That's insane.
Yeah. So you gotta stop if you want that game to install quickly. You gotta stop playing and just sit back. Even put it into standby mode. That'll make it go by even faster. Actually,
that's crazy. I didn't even realize that actually affected the download rate of the game.
Yeah,
that's insane. But anyway, with that being said, man, I've been enjoying myself playing this Red Dead game. Before I jump into what I'm playing, because I like to go last, because I like to run on about the things that I'm talking about, which I need to learn to stop. What are you guys playing? Obviously, you guys are all playing Red Dead right now. What are your impressions of the game so far early in the release?
I'll let the others go first.
And here I was going to let you go first because you're our guest, one of two guests.
Oh, jeez. All right, you know what? I'll go first. It's incredible, to say the least. There's so much to the game. It's breathtaking to see something so refined and polished and good right off the bat, especially from Rockstar. It's a pretty substantial game to be coming out at this time too, like this year with all these other great games. And now we got Red Dead Redemption 2, and you're going, man, this is definitely game of the year, but it's a difficult one in comparison to the other ones too, because I don't know. To put it plainly, it's on its own pedestal. I don't know. I don't want to go into too much details because I know a lot of people are still playing, discovering the start of the game, but the way it's designed, how minimalistic it is for your experience for you to discover the whole world, and how it evolves and just lives with you there and exploring it is just, it's something you haven't really experienced in any other game.
I would definitely say that it's a masterclass. It's a masterclass game, and it shows you what who Rockstar is. They're the best out there.
Definitely.
And just from the game, the graphics, the animations, they're just on another level. And I spent most of my time on the game just going around hunting and just taking in the sights and everything. It's just so big and there's so much to do in the game. And it's just, I would think something like this will be on next generation,
Oh, definitely. It's something, next generation that we're getting now. Just imagine what next generation is actually going to end up being like.
Right. Definitely.
Okay, I've waxed and waned eloquent on this game so much it's not even funny, but you know what? Here's the thing. Regardless of the controversy, regardless of how many long hours the developers at Rockstar Games and their different studios might have been working, I want them to know, like I tweeted, your work is appreciated. Your work, your hard effort is appreciated because it shines through. The level of polish and detail and quality in this game is second to none. It's unheard of. It is another step above anything else. It's like Naughty Dog level polish taken up to an 11 and then applied on an open world scale across everything.
Definitely.
Well put.
You skin a deer and you have to be quick because the meat is going to decompose in the hot sun. If you stay there too long, the flies will start buzzing around it. If you carry it over your shoulder, the blood will seep into your jacket.
And
When
stay
you're
there.
shooting, and stay there until you wash it out. You have to get a bath, or people run away. You cut your hair, you have to cut your beard and shave. You can gain weight or lose weight, becoming, overnourished or undernourished, which has different bonuses and penalties for each. You bond with your horse, you have to take care of your camp. Even the revolver, because it's a single action revolver, not a double action, you have to pull the trigger again to cock the hammer and then shoot. And I love it. I love cocking the hammer, or with your cattleman carbine, ejecting the spent bullet with the lever action. It's so good. And the entire game can be played in first person because that's how good it looks. And it still controls well. I'm only in quotation marks, about 16, 17 hours in. The game says I'm at like 20% completion, whatever metric it's using, and I'm having an absolute blast.
I might go outside with a jacket on, and it might be too hot. I have to take my clothes off. I never thought that I would be able to do that in the game, to where you can feel hot or cold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I can't talk enough about this game. I literally woke up at 8 a.m. this morning because it took forever for the game to download. Then when it downloaded, obviously life takes over. Woke up at 8 this morning. I literally played that game probably to about 4 or 5 o'clock p.m. before I actually got off the game. And I remember the opening cinematic of the game. First and foremost, it's going to take me a while to get used to the controls. I'm probably going to have to make some changes controls-wise because I'm just like, the controls it was throwing me off. It's like I'm always used to pressing down on an analog stick to run, and it makes me crouch. And then when I'm trying to sprint, I remember that I have to press A or double tap A, and it's similar with the horse. So I get caught up a lot in the control system and the way that all works and stuff like that. And that's going to take some getting used to, or maybe make some adjustments in the controller section to really have that feel where it feels more comfortable for me. But I remember when I first left the mountains going into Valentine, like that first town, and when you get on that carriage and everybody is like rolling through on a carriage, I'm just looking at the road. I'm in cinematic mode, by the way. And I'm just looking at the road, and I noticed that obviously the road has this dirt trail. It's got the tire trail with the two lines, like wagons go on this trail all the time. But what was really impressive to me was when you start to look at the grass in the foliage to the right and to the left of the trail, and you can see how it actually is sort of like deteriorating. Like the center of the trail is brown because it's dirt, because the grass has been destroyed and it's just trail. Then as you go to the outside, you can see it deteriorating and it get more lush and more lush. But even then, as you look at the lushness of the rest of the foliage, there's still patches of dirt, like people have gone off the trail or stepped off the trail. And to me, that was so authentic. It was so real, as if you were on a trail, and how sometimes you take a beat off the beaten path, or you step off the trail and you kind of like mess the dirt up over time. That's exactly what I saw. And I was just so impressed with that alone. And the animals running in a different distance, the sun coming in, the illumination was incredible. I'm like, man, I thought Assassin's Creed Origins open world was really impressive. Like when you go to Memphis for the first time, and you see the birds flying and the hippos and the alligators and people walking.
It was gorgeous.
It was absolutely amazing.
I loved Origins. It was beautiful.
Beautiful, especially that city, Memphis, because it's so there's so much happening in that city.
Yeah.
And then when you look at this, as you go from this grassy area into your first town, and the ground is completely made of mud. Like it's completely made of mud, and it's wet and it's soggy, and you just know it's a town. And as you leave out, everything is green and so impressive. Best environment in any open world game I've seen this generation. The world
so lived in, yeah.
And the snow and the mud deforming as you trudge through it. It's we could go on and on for hours, honestly, about the details, trudging. Easily. All respect to you. every single one of you at Rockstar. Rockstar Games actually published the names of everyone who worked on this game. 3,024 names.
That's
in
insane.
total.
Wow.
That's utter insanity. And I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to see anything like this again for a long time because no one else could have pulled this off to this scale.
No.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. All right, so listen, let's jump into the show. We spent 10 minutes talking about Red Dead. Let's jump into the show. Let's talk about some Xbox news. We'll touch on a few things here and there. And we're going to have obviously a short show tonight, guys. For everybody that's in the chat, I want to thank you for stopping out. Big shout out to Andrew Wilkins, Ernie Gutierrez, Chris Washington, Salty is Gaming. What up, Salty? Hey, I got to get Salty on the show. Big shout out to Salty, man. He's been doing his damn thing out there, getting those subs. That guy's on the come up. So if you're on the channel, if you haven't been to Salty's channel, make sure you go check him out over there on Salty is Gaming Network. So let's get the show started. Got a lot to talk about. Here we go. Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast, the premier podcast for Xbox. I'm your host, KORXKLL, with Direwolf 484.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Shout out to B Money 101 who couldn't make it tonight. And with us, we have guest panelist Rage Virus X.
How's it going, everybody?
And my man, Pat Man Jones.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
And we are the Inner Circle podcast. Listen, man, you heard us talk about Red Dead. I don't want to dive too deep into it, man, but it really is an impressive game. I can't praise this game enough. So far, my only gripe right now is learning the controls, and that's a me thing. That's not a game thing. And that's great. I think that's really great. I know a lot of people have complained about the shooting mechanics, and people feel like the characters are maybe, and this is just a little bit, just some people, but some people feel like the characters are too clunky or they're not smooth enough. And I'm like, bro, this ain't Assassin's Creed. This ain't Tomb Raider. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't parkour everywhere in every game. You know what I'm saying?
People did play GTA 5, right? Or previous GTA games. Like, yeah, it's a little clunky, but it's the signature Rockstar.
Honestly, in comparison to prior Rockstar games, I think the shooting is awesome. Like the shooting is leagues above GTA 5.
So good. Much better.
Absolutely. I remember doing some mission where I think you had to go fight some gang or you try to sneak up on some game, and I got a chance to use the bow for the first time. What?
Oh,
I love stealth action. Let me be a cowboy and stealth kill people. Greatest combination in the world. I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. But it was pretty dope. And then being able to lead guys and send them on missions and send them to do things, I think it's pretty awesome. So I can't wait to get back into this game and check it out. But listen, we got a lot to talk about this Xbox. Obviously, Xbox got a lot of things happening. So first and foremost, man, let's talk about Alan Wake and how it's been returning. It's on its way to Steam and possibly, I think, according to Samuel Talbert, is coming to Xbox One again, probably backwards compatible.
Yeah, so basically what happened is, for anyone who doesn't know, May last year, Alan Wake was delisted. It was taken off Steam. It was taken off GOG. That's the GOG storefront run by CD Projekt. And it was taken off the Xbox store because the music license had expired. And, you know, that's a common thing. It's happened to a lot of sports games. It happens all the time there. Happened to some racers. It's happened to the original Forza Horizon, I believe. So, you know, things like that happen. But what's interesting is Remedy made the surprise announcement that Microsoft renegotiated the music license. This is, well over a year later, like 17 months, 16 months, something like that. And they, gave the band more money. Poets of the Fall, that's the name of the band that contributed their music. They did great music, by the way. The soundtrack in Alan Wake is fantastic. I love it. Yeah. And so it's interesting that all this time later, the game has probably sold all it's ever going to sell in its life, or bar a few $5 copies here or there, and yet they're bothering to renew the license to get it back on the storefront. That is very interesting. It's back on Steam. It's back on GOG. It's not on the Xbox store yet, but a Remedy rep said that it is coming. It's just taking a little bit longer for whatever licensing reasons. So I don't know. I don't want to read too much into it. I love Alan Wake. I love it to death. I dream of getting an Alan Wake 2. So I'm trying not to hope, but at the same time, we're seeing this and an Alan Wake TV show is happening. That started happening, that entered development a couple of months ago. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing all this happen at the same time. maybe Microsoft is doing something. Maybe they're having a hand in this. Well, I mean, they definitely had a hand in the music license because they own the publishing rights, so that's all on them. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how it is.
Yeah, I definitely think something's happening behind the scenes with Alan Wake. Yeah, I mean, something just as, as far as the music and, coming into the news and everything. And like you said, the rumblings with the TV show, there has to be more to it than that. So I really think that they're having discussions behind the scenes. And I think we could be seeing Alan Wake 2 coming down the line with Phil. I mean, it's really sought after by the Xbox fans. It's a dear game to us all. And yeah, I really think there could be a possibility.
Yeah, I don't want to hope too much, dude. I really don't want to hope too much because it's been so long. It's been so long since Alan Wake, but maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I feel like Microsoft's got this weird relationship with Remedy. It's irritating at this point. No, it really is though. I like understand where I'm coming from, right? Remedy owns Alan Wake. Microsoft owns Quantum Break, right? Quantum Break, and we know this is Sam's game. Quantum Break may get a sequel. We don't know, but we know it didn't do well both critically and financially. And it's a cult classic. I will say that it's not a bad game. I think it's really good. There's some things that need to be worked out with it, but obviously, right now we have no indication from Microsoft that they're going to work on, that they're going to create a sequel or build a team to take on this game. Remedy is independent. They're not owned by Microsoft, yet they make a game called Control, which is eerily similar to Quantum Break. Like, you can't make this up, right? But this game is multi-plat. I'm thinking they're going to make some crazy new game. Nah, bro. It's like Quantum Break 2.0, which is like, it's what they wanted from Quantum Break, but couldn't do based on the story that they wanted to create initially. That's how I feel. All right. Now, Microsoft turns around and opens and gets the licenses for the music for Alan Wake, but they don't own Alan Wake. So why is it? It's like, it's crazy. They don't own Alan Wake. They don't own the IP. If you even say Microsoft owns Alan Wake with Remedy tag in it, Remedy will with themselves come out and say, nah, B, they don't own Alan Wake. We own Alan Wake. Yet nothing can get done without Microsoft. It is the most frustrating thing I have seen of a game. They can't make
a weird relationship, dude. It is a weird relationship.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't make a sequel without Microsoft. You can't bring the game back without Microsoft, but yet Microsoft doesn't own the IP, and it's up to Microsoft to make the sequel. So I don't know, man. It's weird. I feel like Remedy is playing games. It's like the girl that you keep trying to holler at, and she keeps hitting you up in the DMs, like, what you doing? But every time you ask out on a date, she's like, I gotta wash my clothes this weekend, or I'm going to my grandmother's house. It's like, come on, like, what are you doing right now?
Why you lying? Why you lying?
Exactly. It's like Remedy is like holding on to Microsoft, but they don't want to be brought into the fold, and that's kind of frustrating,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. So I'll say it. I said it twice. I'll say it the third time. I don't want to hope, but Microsoft hasn't even bothered to renew the music license for Forza. And I'm sorry, but Alan Wake is done making money. That thing ain't making them any money anymore. It's selling a couple of copies here on discount. Everyone who's purchased it is going to purchase it, has purchased it. So maybe we see something happen. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys think Control being shown on Sony's stage at E3, this past E3, that kind of burned Microsoft a little bit?
Ninja Theory made Hellblade a timed PS4 exclusive, and they still scooped them the moment they got. Like, companies don't hold grudges like a lot of fans, even fanboys, tend to think they do. In my experience, they understand business dealings.
Right.
It's the same thing with the rumor about Obsidian. That's not 100% yet. Obviously, it's a strong rumor. A lot of people believe it's going to happen because of the past relationship. But when you look at the past relationship with Microsoft, they're like, Microsoft burned them. At least the old management burned the hell out of Obsidian with that, 1,000 man Stormlands or whatever it's called, RPG they were coming out with. And then they turned around and canceled it. And that really hurt Obsidian to the point that they literally had to fire an entire team, cancel the game, and kind of regather themselves. Now you're hearing rumors of Microsoft buying them. So, Sam's right in that people don't hold grudges, man. Business is business at the end of the day. And the right conversation can really fix a lot of things. So, we'll see, man. I would love to see Alan Wake coming to Xbox, the next platform, the next Xbox.
Dude, I said this on Gaming Perspective earlier. I'll say it again. If that song "War" with the guitars tune started playing at an XO or an E3, and that singing starts, like, I will cry.
I'll have a box of tissues there with you, Sam.
Like,
here you go, buddy. Here you go. I'll pat you on the back. It's okay.
That would be the ultimate reveal. It really would. That would be the ultimate. And then get Sam Lake to come out on stage. I don't know. I'm dreaming too much now. I'm dreaming way too much. But
that's hilarious.
It's a possibility. You never know. Like, I guess I'll throw in my 2 cents. I was saying earlier on Gaming Perspective as well that I think they're kind of holding out onto it just in case if Control may not do well. They can be like, hey, we have this other IP. We can work on this because we know fans really, really, really want it. So we might have just a little bit left over. We might have just made just enough work on this to recover ourselves and maybe work with Microsoft to recover from Control. But if Control does really well, they can go, oh, well, you guys want to buy it?
Right.
That's about it. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
Right. We'll see, man. I think Microsoft should look at IPs that have done well with them, or they have a cult following to build on, without question. I know Sunset Overdrive isn't owned by them. It's the same thing with Insomniac. Insomniac's like, ask Microsoft for a sequel. Why? like what? I don't understand. Why? Just make the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Microsoft don't own the IP, it's like, why are you asking for Microsoft's money when you're your own studio and you can make your own game? Unless Microsoft owns the publishing rights to Sunset Overdrive, obviously that particular Sunset Overdrive 1, and any subsequent future Sunset Overdrive. I don't know how real it is, but we'll see.
Was that first refusal rights?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
So what's up next?
I think we've exhausted that topic.
Yeah, we have. I'm not going down speculation lane anymore. I'm just not.
I just don't want to think about it, man.
I'm not doing
down that road. I can't recover.
Yeah. No, I just was chatting with my wife for a minute. You're good. Yeah. So listen, we got to talk about Microsoft's huge fiscal quarter. So Microsoft, with their Game Pass, their subscription service, Xbox One X, have been doing extremely well. I mean, really, really well. I've been looking at Microsoft's NPD, and this is only in the United States. Obviously, it's only in the US. But I've been looking at Microsoft's NPD, and the really cool thing about Microsoft's NPD is that you're seeing growth year over year. Like, every time I look at it, is growth year over year. The problem is that the past years has been so bad that the new numbers make it look like it's super incredible. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. It really is impressive. But when you do it in comparison to everybody else who's down, like, I'll see PlayStation down year over year, but they have 1 million consoles sold in the US, and Microsoft has like 535,000 consoles sold in the US. That's a significant difference. So it's great to see them successful, but at the same time, it obviously hurts them when you're looking at them trying to really put a dent in console growth. But I think for them, they don't care. Obviously, we know what Microsoft's goal is. I did this before. Everybody's like, well, Microsoft needs to come out with their Xbox before PS5. But I'm like, why? I'm like, why? What is the point? Let PlayStation 5 come out. If it comes out in 2019, let it come out in 2019. Microsoft is trying to sell you their ecosystem. No matter how you play, whether it's xCloud, whether it's the next Xbox, whether it's Xbox One X, whether it's Game Pass, no matter how you play, as long as you're part of their ecosystem, that's all that matters. Microsoft would be happy selling 2 Xboxes if they had 1 million people on Game Pass and Windows 10 PC. You know what I'm saying? Like, to them, that's a big deal because their games are selling. There's subscribers to their network. There's people on Xbox Live. Like, that is huge for them. So I think that overall, that the fiscal quarter for them was pretty impressive when you look at their subs and you look at their service, and you look at what they're doing with Game Pass. It really shows how crazy this plan of Phil Spencer's is starting to turn out.
Definitely.
And I'm impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of hit the sweet spot for recovery this generation. It just sucks that they found it so late.
Right.
Yeah,
But you know what? At least they acted upon it.
They did.
That's all that really matters.
They did. And they're setting themselves up in a strong position moving forward in 2019.
That groundwork.
Right, as 2019 is going to be a transitional year for them. It's going to be a year for them to consolidate, to get their acquired studios collaborating and working together and sharing tech and turning. I mean, 2019 is going to be a transition year for the industry as a whole. It really will. It's going to be the year we see.
For sure.
We see the last big third-party titles come out. And then in 2020, we start to see the transition of, okay, the next-gen systems are announced, cross-gen games, that sort of thing moving forward.
Like, just to give you an idea of the numbers that Microsoft put up, shout out to Sam Tolbert, who did a great job picking up the financials from Microsoft. Fiscal year 2019 first quarter gaming details, gaming revenue increased 44% over 2018. For the quarter. That's
insane. It's insane.
That is insane. Xbox software and services revenue grew 36%, primarily driven by third-party games. Obviously, first-party was lacking this year, but the third-party support is there, and that is huge in itself, 36%. Xbox hardware revenue almost doubled, growing 94%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
94%. That's insane when you really think about that.
It's almost double what they made last year. Like,
yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, and that's obviously due to the Xbox One X.
Easily.
Everybody has hopped on the Xbox One X. And then Xbox Live monthly active users grew 8% to 57 million from 53 million. So 4 million new Xbox Live users are now a part of the Xbox Live sub-service. Maybe not paid. I think it counts anybody who has an Xbox Live account. So if you're on PC, you count as well. But either way, 57 million people, as long as it's active, that's huge.
Yeah, like definitely.
You can have 100 million people who have a service or a subscription, but if only 20 million of them are actually active, what is the purpose? Like, what is the point of the other 80 million when you can't sell them a product? You can't pitch them a product. So having 57 million active people is a big deal. That is insane. That is pretty impressive. And that's across Xbox One, Windows 10, and mobile platforms.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. So my thing is, when xCloud comes out, how much does that grow even bigger?
Well, you combine xCloud with Game Pass, and you go, hey, we can stream all these games all on Game Pass right to your device. The streaming service is free, but you just sign up for Game Pass. We'll balance together. Done. You just got it on your phone. You got it on your tablet. You got it, if you really want to, on your PC as well, because they announced it's coming to Game Pass. The Game Pass is officially coming to PC, full compatibility sort of thing, not just select games. Combine it all together. Basically, anywhere you go, anywhere you want to play on, you can play a Microsoft game through Game Pass or third-party games too, because there's some pretty substantial third-party games in Game Pass. Like Bethesda's showing some huge support, which is great. Right. But yeah, you put it all together, you go, wow, I'm paying this much a month for all this, and I can play all my games everywhere I go, including at home on Xbox too. Sweet. Why not? Absolutely.
I can't talk enough about Microsoft's plan. Listen, I'm a dinosaur in this game. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I was born in 81. I got an Atari 2600. That was my first game console.
Damn.
And, yeah, bro. And from there, I got a Super Nintendo. I never had an NES. But I had a Super Nintendo. I didn't have a 64, but I did have a.
Oh, you missed out. I love that 64. Bro. That was my game.
64, bro. 64 was that was expensive for me back then. That was really expensive for me.
Loved it.
I had the SNES all the way up until the PS1 came out. And this was back in the day when Funko Land existed before it turned to GameStop. And I traded in my SNES for a used PlayStation 1. I'll never forget that. And I got the PS1 like a year after it had launched. Actually, I traded my SNES in my Dreamcast. No. Dreamcast wasn't out yet. For a PS1. And then I wound up trading in my PS1 for a Dreamcast, and then a couple years later, trading my Dreamcast for PS2. But anyway, the point is that when I'm a dinosaur in that early in the generation, I was really pissed that Microsoft was putting their exclusives on PC. That was the first thing I was upset about because I always felt like Microsoft lost its identity. I didn't get it. You know, I'm like one of those guys that's like, yo, I don't understand this. Like, why are they doing this? And the fanboy in me was coming out because I'm a big fan of the platform, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of you need consoles in order to sell units. And if you don't have consoles out there selling units, what is the purpose of giving up your exclusives to PC? And everybody's in my ear like, don't worry, PC's going to... I'm like, PC gamers ain't buying nothing. Buying these games, bro. Nobody wants to go to the Windows 10 store. This is
I was just saying the Windows 10 store is trash. Right? Who wants to use that? They go, Steam, let's screw it. I don't care.
Like, it's insane. So, but I look now where we are after 2 years or 3 years of this, and you can really start to see it start to pick up steam and it start to roll. It is not just people playing on PC, but it's Xbox gamers that's on PC, people who have PCs and want to play Xbox games through Game Pass, or they're playing with a buddy. You're starting to see this transition happen. You're starting to see this growth, and it's really starting to pick up. And now I understand where they're going with Xbox Live and their subs and why that matters more to them than console sales. So definitely going to be big for them going forward. Big numbers coming up in the future. And with all these first parties studios that they got coming out, I'm telling you, they are truly trying to make Game Pass the Netflix of gaming. They
easily.
Absolutely, without question.
And it's a smart thing to do because if they can be the one to pioneer it like properly, that's a money maker. That's a lot of money. And you know what? All that money, guess where it's going to go right back into? Right back into the games, right back into the studios. Of course, the company's going to take a good chunk, but still, if you're taking in an extra $50 billion a year or whatever, some staggering number, and you putting $20 billion back in, that's like, wow, that's a lot back into your gaming infrastructure.
Right. And now we've got the rumor. Listen, I don't want to just quote, what's his name? Klobrille?
Yeah.
Klobrille. Listen, I don't want to. Obviously, Klobrille always claims that he's not an insider, which I respect him for saying those things. But obviously, he knows some people. Some of his things is right, some of his things is off. But again, another rumor comes out that Microsoft is looking to pick up the guys from what is that game called again?
Turtle Rock Studios.
What is it? Yeah, Turtle Rock Studios.
Turtle Rock Studios. Yeah, Evolve and Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, the Evolve and Left 4 Dead guys. Microsoft may be looking to pick these guys up in some form or fashion, maybe make a studio or bring them into a studio. You add that, then you have the rumor of the Obsidian team as well. I know somebody else had posted a rumor that Microsoft is talking or in talks with the Plague, the guys who's making that rat game Plague. I forget the name of that.
Sobo.
Yeah. So somebody says something, or I see something like that as well, and that will be rumor. I don't want to take that on as
Focus home game. I think
is it the Play?
I think so. It's a focus, or is it like I think that's
published. No, it's published by Focus Home Interactive, but it's developed by Asobo.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So, listen. Again, these things can be made up. I don't know. I'm not 100%. I'm not trying to claim them as such, but I think that there's a pattern. And the pattern, obviously, that Microsoft is looking at picking up big studios or picking up small studios. And it's just like I said with Netflix before. If you can come out with a plethora of games, whether they're small indie titles that guys are putting on there, like that's already happening, and then you have some mid-tier games that normally hit $29 or $49.99, and you could put those games out every 3 months, and then at the end of the year, you could drop your big titles from your big studios, especially your new studios. Man, every year, you could do that every year. With Game Pass, that would be huge. People
Definitely.
would never leave. Like, people would never leave Game Pass at that point.
Drop a game every second month.
Yeah, every second month, and the big AAAs at the end of the year, or maybe a big AAA in the beginning of the year, or even space it out. One AAA every quarter. That would be insane, you know, and just fill it in with indies and little mid-tier studios that can produce games 1 to 2 years. Man, that would be insane.
Yeah, you get like AA indie or AA studio games every second month, and then let's say 3 times a year you drop in your major games from your other studios, because you basically have like 7 of them right now. You're going to keep expanding to have, you know, probably the same amount working on your AA games as well, which they take 2 to 3 years. The other ones maybe take a much longer time, but if you keep building that portfolio and divide and investing into your teams, your studios, so they can divide their teams to work on multiple projects, it's feasible, but they have to have that financial backing to do it.
Absolutely. All that's left is hardware, and people seem to be buying Xbox One X's.
And Phil said that Microsoft will never be behind that power narrative ever again.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what they come out in 2020. If that's a date, that's the date that we have sort of locked in on when Microsoft releases their next platform. So that would be really impressive. I can't wait to see what they have coming out in the future. All right, so listen, man, Game Pass to PC. This is it. This is it. Microsoft is Game Pass going to PC. They are going all in at this point. Halo, the next Halo Infinity, will more than likely be on PC with this Game Pass to PC. You know, unless we get some type of talk that Halo ain't going to be in Game Pass, which to me is like insane.
No, that's impossible.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be. It's going to be. All first-party studio titles are going to end up being in there. It's a guarantee.
So this is it. It's official. Xbox One is 100%. All their games are 100% going to be on PC. If they weren't already, they will be now. And with Game Pass going to PC, to me, I'll be honest with you, that kind of excites me. And the reason why I say that is because I've been struggling to stream content because I have my Xbox. I don't have an Elgato. So I sort of like stream from PC on Mixer, then screen capture Mixer on OBS, and then from OBS, I upload to YouTube.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's brutal. It's brutal. And trust me, the quality isn't where I want it to be, but it's cool. I get to interact with some people. I try to add more gaming content to the channel. But the thing is, if I can get the games that I already own, that's on Game Pass, or that is, what is it called? When you buy a game on Xbox, get it on Play Anywhere.
Yeah, Play Anywhere titles.
Right. Or I could do Play Anywhere titles on my PC. Man, that's a change. That's a change the game moment, because I would still be playing Xbox, obviously, just on PC, and I can stream the games that I would normally play on PC with the same saves that I have and the same content that I've already downloaded right to the channel without problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big deal for me. That's a big, huge deal, and that's exciting for Xbox gamers. If you want to stream or if you want to play games on the go, that's exciting. But for PC gamers, that's big, because I'm telling you right now, Halo Infinity on PC is going to blow up. It is going to be the biggest game that's probably going to release. If it doesn't release this generation, it will probably release next gen. It was going to be the biggest game probably Microsoft has released over the last 10 years. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you think about how many people on PC that constantly beg Microsoft to put Halo on PC. Like, they're literally, I am literally watching.
It's been years.
That's what I'm saying. I'm literally watching people make emulators of Xbox just to play Reach. You know what I'm saying? Just to get any sense of Halo or any remake of Halo on PC. And you're going to put a brand new Halo on PC with a new engine on, them PC gamers gonna go straight for ultra settings, bro.
You're gonna melt the PC.
They're gonna destroy it, bro. It's gonna be insane. You people don't understand. I don't think people get it. It's gonna be insane. And once Sony, I won't be surprised if Sony follows suit. if they're not doing it already, they're already trying to sneak in their exclusives like a couple 6 months, 8 months later. I would not be surprised if eventually Sony start putting games day one, date and day on PS Now to follow suit once they start seeing how much money Microsoft is making.
Oh, definitely, especially since they enabled that being able to download the games now onto your hard drive. That's exactly what Game Pass is you're downloading games into your hard drive so you can play them, but you're paying the subscription a month and you're not really actually owning it, but you're still playing the full freaking game and not streaming it in 200p maybe sometimes on PS Now.
Right.
But if PlayStation follows suit, I don't blame them. It's actually a smart move. It's a smart business move. And I think PlayStation fans will eat it up. And even though they'll begrudgingly be like, oh, well, we all know Xbox did that first, but it's still a good thing that PlayStation's doing it now. So I think I'll just sign up and maybe actually start playing games through that service, because it's a great service. How can you not like something like that? You're saving money. Like, you got first-party titles, you got and other third-party support going straight to Game Pass. First-party titles launching day and date on it. I don't have to dish out however much money right off the bat out of pocket just to play a game. Maybe 2-3 new launches in a month. That's a lot of money right out of pocket, and I can just pay $10-12 just to play right there, right? So might as well.
Yeah. Pat, what do you think? You think this is do you think Game Pass to PC is going to take Xbox to the next level, or do you think it's just a detriment to the identity of the platform?
No, I think that it's allowing people to play games, anywhere, everywhere, and that's what we need to be focused on is getting more gamers. So no, I don't think it'll be bad for Xbox, to say, because like you said, Microsoft is all the way in. On the Game Pass and onto this, to the streaming. So, so I think it's a good thing for more people to play more games, no matter where you're at. So,
right. Definitely.
Yeah, the time, for, this game is just on this device, that's ancient. That's an ancient way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's where games are moving forward to, to be able to play anywhere. And so like you were talking about for Sony, for example, like they need to, get with the times as well. And, they're going to get left behind.
Yeah, they Microsoft is all about platform at this point. Console, PC, and phone once streaming finally takes off. Phil said as much as E3. They don't care as long as you're in the Xbox ecosystem.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny that Pat says that, like, you got to get with the times. That's how I was feeling, like a dinosaur. I feel like I'm being left behind, man. What happened to the good old days of just buying a platform, just playing on it?
And I'm with you, Cal, because like I was born in '82, and my first system was a 2600. It just I went the Sega route instead of like the Nintendo route, like you went.
Yeah.
Xbox, but I mean, when I first heard about it, I was like, well, I said, I guess Microsoft know what they're doing. So
right. And that's
how eventually it'll be revealed. It was just messaging. They had a bad time with messaging this generation.
Yeah, the messaging was bad. The idea that you don't need an Xbox, you can hop on PC and play games, people selling their Xboxes. It really was a negative. I think the biggest issue was that it was done in the middle of the generation. Because you had people who had invested in the Xbox and they're like, oh, what? I don't need an Xbox no more, especially as a PC gamer. I'm selling my Xbox. Yo, I just sold my X. That's all you saw. I just sold my Xbox. I did this. So once that trend started happening, everybody else starts picking up. It's funny because now Red Dead Redemption isn't on PC. And I've seen nothing but people say, yo, I just bought an Xbox One X.
This is anecdotal as all heck, so take this with a grain of salt, but just it should be noted. When I went to my local GameStop to get in line, for the 9 p.m. release of Red Dead Redemption 2, talk with the manager there because we were good friends, and he said that they had sold 5 Xbox One X's that day alone, and that more people were calling in asking about them.
Yeah, my brother, he just upgraded from the original Xbox One to the X. I hounded him. And so Red Dead was finally the the needle that broke the camel's back.
Good.
And so he went to 2 GameStops, and like the first GameStop, all the X's were sold out because of Red Dead.
Nice.
And then he went to the second one, and he said that he got the last one, the last X.
Wow, nice.
Would it be insane if Microsoft has the highest console sold in the month that the PlayStation, who has the marketing rights to the game and actually has a bundled game?
Wouldn't be shocking.
Make no mistake. PlayStation is still going to sell a crap ton of consoles and copies, but it is kind of funny that Microsoft is getting some marketing from this. It's funny. It's funny to watch.
The thing that makes it even crazier, somebody tweeted this earlier. GameStop got this incredible deal. You literally can get an Xbox One X for like $200 because they have the Red Dead deal, where if you buy Red Dead 2 with an Xbox, you can get it you get $100 off, right?
Yeah, you get $100 off, but then you trade in your console with
your OG Xbox One.
Yeah,
they give you $200 credit. That's $300 off a brand new Xbox One X, and you get Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, that's what my brother did. Like he got the X for a little over $200 by trading his old Xbox and the old. He had an old 360 as well. Traded that in.
Nice. There you go.
So
yeah, it's definitely an impressive deal. Obviously, you're not going to hear about it as much because Sony has the marketing rights for it, and it's a GameStop deal. I think the Red Dead deals at other places too, but the $200 console is a GameStop deal. So it's funny because it's like Digital Foundry came out; they was real boisterous about the Xbox One X presentation, and you could just see people left and right like, "Damn, I got to get an X. Damn, I got to get an X. I'm going to get an X." And I was like really shocked that this is the game that's making people pick up an X. No, not Forza Horizon 4. You know what I'm saying? Not Gears 5, but
it's a third-party title.
A third-party game is making people buy Xbox One X's. And that's impressive.
Man.
That is
funny.
It's impressive. And
we can't discount. We can't discount the fact that Red Dead is one of those very odd eggs in that it's coming out on consoles but not PC. That is a very weird situation nowadays.
Not just that, but like only on Xbox and PlayStation. And you go, wow.
Right.
You got 2 platforms to choose it from, and then it just ended up being with Xbox One X, the best version, ended up being on the most powerful console because guess what? That power helped, and in this case, it helped by quite a substantial margin.
It also helps the fact that the OG Xbox One version is the worst.
Yeah.
Worst, bro. That junk was 840p, bro. I didn't even know that was a resolution. I was like,
man, that's only on the S too. That's not even the base model. That's Xbox One S. If you go down one more, it's gonna be worse.
That's
what you're paying like 360p.
Oh my!
Yeah, God. But I mean, hey, let's give some credit to Rockstar here. The fact that they were able to get that open world game on the S to be 864p, and all the detail is still there in terms of all the grasses. There's no grass gate. There's no rainbow gate. There's no mud gate. All that is still there. So I still congratulate them.
Yeah,
they squeezed everything out they could.
My fiance, she plays on the Xbox One S and is playing Red Dead Redemption 2 as well, and looks great. Looks fine. Like it looked good on my 4K Xbox One X. Looks good on there. On hers, still looks good too.
Yeah. Obviously, we put a lot of stock in resolution because of this generation. This is the resolution generation. That's how I look at it. like the 360 had like sub HD 720p games, some HD games, but nobody noticed. Like no one really cared. You know, this generation, as soon as the generation started, it was all about resolution. All about power, and at the end of the generation, it sort of flipped to Microsoft, and now no one sort of cares again. But it's a big deal, obviously, and it's affected Microsoft in a way where it's like they've been burned and they feel scorned, and they don't want to feel like that again. So they're definitely going to be busting their butts to make some amazing hardware, and I'm sure Sony is going to bust their butts and try to make amazing hardware. So I don't think next gen, either platform will come out weak. I'm sure there'll be some advantages for one or the other, but it'll be very slight and very small to a point that more likely it won't matter when most third-party companies are going
exactly
anyway. So we'll see how it all turns out, without question. But listen,
it's gonna be a wild ride, man. Wild ride.
Absolutely. Game Pass to PC, it's just only going to make things bigger for the Xbox ecosystem. Um, and I really hope Microsoft has great security in place for the PC guys because I don't even know, man. I don't want to think hackers are going to hack the game. That's my concern. PC gamers hopping in some of these games and hacking the game some sort of way and cheating in the game, because I don't want to say it's running rampant on PC, but it is a thing. It is a thing.
It's bad on PC. It's bad, and you know what? It does carry over to console because Sea of Thieves is a good example of that. Especially when you take crossplay into consideration as well, too.
Yes, keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
I've heard some people complain about keyboard and mouse in some crossover games with Xbox already. I can't remember what game it was, but I've heard some complaints.
Yeah.
Already. So hopefully these guys figure it out going forward, and we can see how it all pans out. So before we head out of here, any other thoughts or questions?
Go play Red Dead. Seriously,
Yes.
This is a gaming event. This is one of those games that it's one of the events of the generation.
Don't wait for Christmas. Don't wait for Black Friday. Just go get it. Get it now. It's the weekend. Just buy it. Play it. You're going to enjoy it. And you're going to thank us and be like, why did I wait even a second after launch hour?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And for a PC gamer for Red Dead, if you got two choices. Do you want the definitive version or do you want the maybe version? That's what it all comes down to. So go get the game, y'all.
That's hilarious. Definitely pick up Red Dead, man. Very impressive game. Definitely support those guys. They worked extremely hard on this game. Long hours, regardless of how you feel about publishers pushing people. These guys deserve your money.
They put that crunch in.
Yeah.
Pay them that respect by that game.
Yeah. So before we get out, man, hey, real quick, here's some quick hitters. Nier Automata's 2B is coming to Soul Calibur 4 with her own stage. That's pretty cool. I haven't played Nier yet. I definitely have to pick that up.
Soul Calibur is great for those kinds of guest characters, which now means
Always
that
have them,
technically speaking, The Witcher and Nier Automata take place in the same universe.
That's hilarious. Battlefield 5's Battle Royale mode has been delayed until March 2019. Does that hurt the game?
I don't see it helping, honestly. I don't see it helping. Like, Blackout is quickly establishing itself among console fans.
Yep.
Fortnite and PUBG have been solidified for over a year now, so it's not going to help the game. I don't see it. Maybe it encourages some more people to pick up the game then and gives it a longer tail, but at what cost to the initial sales would be my question.
Right. And XO 18 event's coming up November 10th. This is supposed to be a big deal. Obviously, we don't want to hype it up too much because we don't want to go in disappointed. Because trust me, if we will kill that show. We will kill that show. But Crackdown 3 will be playable there at XO 18, and I assume we will get a chance to see what Crackdown looks like now after all this time. So that's really exciting. We finally get a chance.
It's gotta be good.
Gotta
see something impressive.
Yep. So listen, man, that's going to be it for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for stopping out. It's 11:29 p.m. on the eastern seaboard of the United States. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Go ahead. If you have any questions, leave a question. We're going to do 5 to 10 minutes before we head out of here and hop back on Red Dead. I want to thank everybody for stopping out once again. I'm your host, Kelroy S. Kal-El, with Direwolf 484, Rage Virus X, and Patman Jones, and we are out of here. We see you guys next week. Peace. All right. Man, listen, if you wonder why I make pauses in between that, it's because I do edit the audio. So when we do upload to Spotify and iTunes and Google Music and all that stuff like that, I know exactly where I need to cut the audio, so I don't have to search.
That's smart. That's exactly what I would do too, because I'd be like, hold on, I have to wait. I have to find myself in between this rant that I've been going on for 5 minutes now, and I can't tell where I'm starting or ending.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't want to sit up there and have to spend 10 minutes trying to find out where I ended the show or when I began the show. So I sort of take quick deep breaths for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then go ahead. So that way, hey, there's a big ass gap right here in the middle of the thing.
Why am I quiet? Oh, okay.
Chop this and fade this out and fade this in. So that's pretty cool. But listen, man, big shout out to everybody who stopped there. Ernie Gutierrez, thank you, brother, for the sub. I do appreciate it. You can catch us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We are the premier podcast for Xbox, and you can check out 2XP. Those guys cover multi-plat games and all gaming all around. If you want to hear more about PlayStation and Nintendo PC stuff like that, big shout out to Christopher Hart. Thank you as always. Taser Delight. Thank you for stopping out. Even if you're a PS fan, we welcome all PS fans to the show. As long as you obviously are gamer first, not fanboy first, we definitely respect it, and thank you for stopping out. The Geeky Nerd, thank you for stopping out. Victor Alistine, my brother, thank you for stopping out as well. Jose Sekura, thank you for stopping out. I hope I said that right. I feel like I didn't. TF God, thanks for stopping out, man. As always, Saltiest, thank you for stopping out as well. Definitely appreciate it. Andrew Wilkins, thank you for stopping out. I love Andrew, man, because Andrew supports the show even if he hates Xbox. Andrew comes in here, Rex just hops in chat, destroys Xbox, destroys the people in chat talking about Xbox, bigs up PlayStation, donates to us $5. It's like he donates to us. You know, he supports the show because we try to keep it as real as possible. We don't fanboy out. At the same time, my man tries to keep it as real as possible about Xbox and his disgust for the platform. So funny stuff, without question.
I've seen him around. He's funny.
Yeah.
He brings up some wild stuff.
Yeah, without question. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them. If we don't have any questions in the next minute or two, we're going to go ahead and cut the show short and see you guys next week, Saturday. Let's see here. Christopher Hart says, if Red Dead 2 is so big, why are Xbox gamers still comparing it to Horizon Zero Dawn?
They are?
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen
I have not seen
person.
It's not really a game to compare. Not really the same kind of thing.
No, not at all. Like, I'm sorry, but Horizon Zero Dawn is at like a 2 in comparison to Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm sorry. And I've played Horizon Zero Dawn. I just gotta throw that out there. You gotta understand the scale this game is on, man. It's just
I wouldn't even say that. I just don't think they're comparable games. Horizon Zero Dawn is more of an action RPG. Red Dead is more focused on interactive elements.
That's very true.
What I will say is that, listen, at the end of the day, there's fanboys on both sides. You know, there's going to be hardcore guys on both sides that's going to take things so far that it doesn't make sense. And listen, I'm not one to sit up here and be like, nah, you know, it's only PlayStation. There are some Xbox guys out there that really sort of antagonize and pick with people. It's not my MO. It's not our MO at Tick. We're gamers first and foremost. We love gaming. We love this industry. We love this hobby. But at the same time, we do know that there's people out there that are real warriors. You know what I'm saying? And they really go hard. So yeah, you'll hear some crazy things like that here and there, comparisons, third-party games to first-party games, just trying to sort of downplay first-party games. And that's for both PlayStation and Xbox. I don't think any platform has outdone another. I know a lot of PlayStation fans feel like Sony has completely obliterated Xbox, but I've been impressed with some of Microsoft's bigger titles. I still think Gears 5 is impressive. Even if a lot of people don't like it, from what I played so far, it's one of the best looking games I've seen this generation. I don't know why people don't think it's not. I don't know why people don't think that it isn't a part of that conversation, but they should really look at how great Gears looks when you play it in motion.
Especially on the X, is ridiculous.
Oh my god, on the X is insane. Yeah. It is definitely insane.
When it got that enhancement and the 4K texture update, yeah, it's pretty good. You know what? Gotta point out the spatial audio on it too, the Dolby Atmos.
Right.
That game's actually built and designed for it too. So if you got a headset compatible for it, and you got it hooked up and set up on your Xbox, use your headset because it sounds phenomenal.
Everybody out there, Dolby Atmos is worth it.
It is. Hands down. I can't play without it now.
Yeah, same. As soon as it came out, I picked it up and I did the little Insects demo.
Yeah.
Listening to Dolby on. Oh my god, what?
Right. Nuts!
It's insane. I can't go back, and I'm glad I got it. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah, especially if you play multiplayer.
Ernie Gutierrez asks, he says he has two questions. How will Valve, Steam, and Discord respond over Xbox Game Pass or Windows 10? And also, will xCloud compete with the Switch?
So for the first part of that, Valve is in an interesting position, not just due to Game Pass, but because they've got other competitors like GOG right now, or the fact that Bethesda isn't launching Fallout 76 on Steam. They're just doing it on their own launcher. Or the fact that, Overwatch is through the Blizzard client, and so is Black Ops 4. So is Destiny 2. Valve's problem is third parties are realizing that they can self-publish and that they don't have to publish their games through them on Steam. Now, they still have a ton of developers who do. They've got a ton of devs who are going to help make them a lot of money. But Valve needs to consider actually getting internal teams making games again, would be my basic response, because they've basically sat on their laurels doing nothing, and quite understandably so, for a long time. Because if you wanted to play games on PC, well, you went to Steam.
Yeah,
that's
they
how it
don't
was.
really need to do much else. They just sat back and raked in the money.
And so, so that's not the case anymore, or at least it's very shortly not going to be. So, yeah, they need to start making games again for themselves.
I agree. xCloud, will it compete with the Switch? I don't know if it'll compete with the Switch, but I damn sure think that it's going to have an impact. Maybe not on Switch, but it's definitely going to have an impact on mobile gaming.
Yeah, mobile gaming more than Switch. The portability factor is definitely very interesting. I need to see it in action for myself. I'll keep going back to that. I need to see how well that thing is going to work, what data plans are going to be adjusted for, or be like, what data usage is like. Because if you're out of the house, being able to do that, even if it works well, isn't going to mean much if you burn through 10 gigs of data in a couple of days or something like that.
That's true. Yeah.
So so we need to see. We need more information that we lack right now.
Yeah, I will say, if they get the cloud streaming right and it's stable, it doesn't take up much bandwidth and all that fun stuff. If I can get a really good Surface tablet, I'd actually rather go with a Surface tablet combined with Xbox Game Pass than rather get a Switch, because I could probably spend the same amount of money I'd spend on a Switch to get a really nice tablet I can play my games on, but also do my work and stuff on too.
Right.
Plus the Switch they still have Mario and Zelda, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, they got those Nintendo IPs. Zelda.
Yep. No, don't get me wrong. Horizon Zero Dawn is a beast of a game, without question. I think Horizon Zero Dawn is probably the best game, and I mean that from a technical standpoint and graphically on PlayStation. I know God of War looks amazing, but God of War is a linear title.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is the best looking exclusive when you consider how open it is.
Right, definitely.
But I think right now, just playing Red Dead, I think Red Dead is probably the best looking game this generation.
Red Dead's on another level.
Yeah, Red Dead looks better. That's not an insult to Horizon Zero Dawn. It really is.
It definitely is an amazing game.
You just have to play it to experience it. Like, you don't watch a video. Once you sit down with a controller in your hands and you play that game, even if it's for half an hour, you'll understand kind of where we're coming from and being like, wow, okay, you know what? This game really is something else, because they put a lot of work into that. And
I've played both Horizon and I'm playing Red Dead right now. So I'm not.
Yeah,
there's no
me as well.
rhetoric. If you don't
play it too.
Yeah, if you don't have an Xbox One X and you're not playing Red Dead on Xbox One X, I don't think you guys can really say, oh, Horizon Zero Dawn can't be beat. Like, bro. I'm just telling you, you gotta see Red Dead on. It's really the best looking game this generation at this point.
It's incredible. It's like you're playing a movie throughout the entire time, especially when you put that cinematic camera on and you're traveling from place to place on your horse or just running around. Man, it's phenomenal. Just looks gorgeous.
Absolutely. All right, let's lock up 2 more questions and we're gonna head on out. When would you guys like the next gen to begin?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
If I could actually, you know what? If I could, please. I'd like it to be 2021, but it won't be. I'd actually like it to be further out than that, but that's not even remotely realistic. So, 2020.
Yeah, 2020. I have to go with that as well.
Seems to be the golden number.
Yeah. Let's see here. Victor Alistine says, could Red Dead be the beginning of next gen and something for the Xbox?
I don't think it's so much the beginning of next gen as it is just this is what we see when Rockstar has had over 3,000 people, including marketing staff, granted, but still thousands of developers, thousands of QA testers working on this game for 6.5 years, dedicated to polishing the quality, working to extract every last bit of power and usage out of the hardware, reworking the scenes over and over and over again, even till one of the last minute changes I remember reading was in 2016 when they decided that they needed to add black bars to the cutscenes. And everything had to be reshot. Every cutscene had to be re-edited, and a couple of things had to be readjusted because it changed the whole dynamic. It changes the framing of the scene. It changes what's important, what the cinematography looks like. And what we're seeing, that's a very long-winded way of me saying Rockstar has shown what this hardware is capable of.
Right.
That's what they have done here. That is what they have maxed out the hardware, I would say.
What are you seeing with Rockstar? You're seeing master talent, the time and the money put into to make this game what it is.
Easily.
Yeah. And do you guys think this is what Microsoft is doing with the initiative?
Yeah. I mean, comparing anyone, bar maybe CD Projekt Red to Rockstar, is a bit of a leap, but I definitely think that they want the initiative to be up there. They want the initiative will be a very big studio, and they're going to take a very long time to make their first game. Absolutely.
I mean, this is the first time I've seen them say that they're turning the initiative into a quadruple A studio. Since I didn't even know quadruple A was a thing.
It's an internal term. I've told people, let's not get worked up about that. Everyone has their own standards. By Ubisoft standards, a AAA game doesn't exist until they've spent $100 million on it. Everyone has their own standards.
That is what Red Dead is. It's a quadruple.
Yeah. When I think quadruple A, I think Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, final question, Ernie Gutierrez. One more question. Any predictions which first-party Xbox studios will launch on the next Xbox?
Launch?
343 will launch theirs. Yeah,
343 will launch Halo Infinite. Turn 10 will launch Forza Motorsport 8. Launch day is a little rougher, but launch window, I think Ninja Theory and Playground are solid bets.
Thank you. I was just going to say those two as well.
Yeah, I would. Playground. I think Ninja Theory, depending on how far along their game is, could be anywhere from like late 2020 to very early 2021, and then Playground will be probably early 2021 as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. There. I could see if they are making Fable, I could see that release in that spring. That would be the big spring title from Playground, honestly. And that
needs that next gen quality to really just wow people.
Right.
What did Phil say? Give them time, So
yeah, you know what? Hey, look what we got out of time. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right.
Like if we give studios time and we are patient enough, we can consistently get these quality of games. We just have to support them in the right way and just be patient enough.
And that's why Microsoft is picking up all these studios, to give these other studios time. So
and hopefully out of all of them will end up being this tier, I guess, of quality of games, because let's be honest, they're, to me, CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. Those guys.
That's my game.
Those two are like on the top tier alone, at the very top for game developers for quality. Right. Everybody else is solely tiered below them, but those two are like their top.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. So listen, man, I want to thank Rage Virus X once again, Pat Man Jones, for coming on the show. If you guys love them as guests, go ahead, leave a comment in the comment section for us if you appreciate them and their and how they blended with the team tonight. Again, we are recruiting new members to Tick Podcast for our regular weekly show. We're rebuilding. We want to bring in some great personalities, some great voices, and obviously make a great new show for you guys out there that's listening to Tick Podcast on the market, whether you're around the world or here in the United States. I just appreciate it for everybody. Before I go, I just want to give a shout out very quickly to all the people who support us throughout the U.S. and around the world. This is something that I wanted to do for a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly do it before we head on out while I still have the opportunity. And here we go. So listen, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that supports us around the world. These are the top 10 countries that's listening to Tick Podcast via iOS, which is like 50% of our 56% of the people who download the MP3. And then, of course, we have Android users, we have Windows 10 users, Windows mobile users, and Spotify's and other apps and stuff like that. So, obviously, United States, big shout out to everybody from the US. Thank you. United Kingdom, thank you guys out there in the UK who are out there supporting us. Sweden, thank you. I'm shocked.
Wow.
Yes, thank you. Sweden for
Wow.
supporting us. Germany, big shout out to the people out there in Germany who supporting us. Canada, thank you, Canada, for supporting us. The Netherlands, thank you, Netherlands, for supporting Tick Podcasts. We are definitely appreciative. India, thank you so much for the support. Australia, thank you once again for the support. And our top and number 10, Finland, thank you for supporting Tick Podcast. If you're out there listening to us via mobile, we are humbled and grateful for your support. And we just want to make sure that you guys are acknowledged for checking us out there in MP3 land. And you can catch this show tomorrow on MP3, whether it's iTunes, Google Music, or Spotify, or the Podbean app. And go ahead and subscribe to us there and leave us a rating. Make sure you rate us on iTunes. That helps us move up in the ranking for all the people out there who supporting us and listen to us. So you can catch this show next week, Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, as we bring another heater. I think next week we'll be doing our prediction show for XO 18. Because I think
that makes sense. That makes sense because it'll only be a few days away at that point. It's only 13 days away right now.
Right. So we'll be doing our prediction show for XO 18 next week with some new guests. And again, thank you, Rage. Thank you, Pat, for coming on.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.
And make sure you check out 2XP Podcast Wednesday at 8 p.m. with Fame Entertainment, Floor Hugger, and team. And that's going to be it. So we'll see you guys next week. I'm your host, Kelroy S. Kal-El, the last son of Planet Xbox with Direwolf 484, Rage Virus X, and Pat Man Jones. And we are out of here. Peace.